I am embarking on a challenge to beat 7 Days to Die using only lootable gear. And before I even began this challenge, I had a big problem. I had to define exactly what beating 7 Days to Die was, because the game doesn't have an ending. It doesn't even have a story. You just survive the zombie apocalypse. So, what was my ending? Well, you can undertake quests from the trader. And so, I was going to use that to determine where the final straw of this challenge would be drawn. You see, I would have to complete 10 Tier 1 missions for Trade Direct, then move on to the Tier 2 missions in the Burnt Forest, the Tier 3 ones in the desert, the Tier 4 ones in the Snowy Biome, and the Tier 5 ones in the Wasteland. I would need to complete 10 of those challenges within each of those biomes to unlock Tier 6. Once I had unlocked Tier 6, I could finally draw a line on where I would set the goal for this challenge, which would be to complete a Tier 6 infestation within each of the 5 biomes. That would be 5 total Tier 6 infestations. Only then could I call the challenge complete. Now, the rules would make this challenge insanely difficult, as number 1, I would have to play on insane difficulty, the hardest level this game offers, and I would have to do the entire challenge on a single life. I could not die once, or that would be challenge failed. So what was allowed and what was forbidden? Well, if it was a tool, weapon, or armor, I had to loot that from a POI. And since the POIs weren't respawning their loot outside of missions, it meant that what options I had available to me were extremely limiting. However, meds, food, hydration, and workstations, I was totally allowed to craft those. Now, things get a little bit grey when I realized that repair kits were an option, because I could just find a good weapon and use that. So, I decided that they were banned. I could use them for vehicles, but if it was my gear, no. Disqualify the challenge. And the final thing that I threw into this mix was ammunition. I wanted to create this challenge in a way that meant I had to use a variety of different weapons, tools, and armor as I progress through the game, and don't just find a really good thing near the beginning and then we know the challenge is completed. Now, I'm doing this challenge as a series here on the channel, and it launches tomorrow, and I'm really excited to get going with it, and I truly don't know the end point.